We will continue our discussion of Class 8 NCERT book, Chapter 8 Force and Pressure. This is part 3 of the series. If you want to watch part 1 and 2, link is given in the subscription box below. You can click on it. So we'll begin. How do you decide in which direction will the object move? The object will move in the direction of the net force applied. Suppose we have two people who are there to apply force on a very heavy object. We will assume that there is no friction acting in our case. The two people can apply forces in three manners as given in the following three cases. So we have case 1. We have our object here and the two people apply force from opposite directions. Person 1 applies force from the left, person 2 applies force from the right. In this case, the forces applied will be of equal magnitude. What will happen in such a situation? No motion will be generated in the object. The two forces cancel out each other. Since the two forces acting are of same magnitude and are acting from the opposite directions, the net force acting on the object will be zero. So there will be no change in the state of motion of the object. Hence, no movement will be generated. No change, also there will be no change in the speed or direction of motion, so no movement. This case is of equal force acting in opposite directions. Moving on, we will consider case 2. In the case 2, we have the two people applying force on the object from the same direction. In this case, it does not matter whether the forces are of equal or unequal magnitude, because finally in the net force the two forces will add up to each other. Here the two people apply force from the same direction on the object, that is from the left. So in the final net force acting will be this force plus this force. So the direction of the object, the direction in which the object will move will be towards the direction of the force applied, that is towards the right. So in this case, the forces are acting from the same direction. The motion of the object will be in the direction of the forces applied. Here the forces are acting towards right, so the object will also move towards right. It does not matter whether the force are of equal or unequal magnitude, because the net force will be the addition of these two forces. So this is the case of the forces acting from the same direction. We consider another case, that is our case 3. In this case, we have the object, but the two people who are applying forces, they apply it from the opposite direction. In this case, the forces will be of unequal magnitude. One person will apply a larger force, the other person will apply a smaller force. So here the net force acting on the object will be the difference in the magnitude of the forces acting, that is the larger force minus the smaller force, and the direction in which the object will move will be in the direction of the larger force, that is towards the right. So the forces are acting here are from the opposite direction. The motion of the object finally will be in the direction of the larger force. The magnitude is the larger force minus the smaller force, the difference between the magnitude. So this is the case of unequal magnitude from opposite direction. Now we will summarize this whole discussion in the form of a flow chart. As you can see here, This will also help you in organize all the information and learn it better. Here, the force applied on the object can happen in two ways, that is in the same direction or in the opposite direction. In the same direction, what happens is, as we just discussed right now, in the same direction we have the object, that means the forces are applied in the same direction like this. So what happens in this case? The forces add up to each other and it does not matter whether the force are of equal or unequal magnitude, and the direction of the motion of the object will be in the direction of the force applied, that is towards right in this case. So this was our case 2 of the discussion. Now we see that the force can also be applied in the opposite direction. Now the opposite direction, it can happen in two ways. When the forces applied are of equal magnitude and unequal magnitude. First we'll consider the equal magnitude. Here this is the object. The forces applied are of equal magnitude but in opposite direction. So what will happen in this case? The two cases will cancel out each other, hence there will be no movement generated and no change in the speed or direction of the motion of the object. This was a case 1 of our discussion. Now, when the forces are of unequal magnitude, we have our object. One force is larger, the other one is smaller. So what will happen in this case? The net force is the difference in the magnitude of the two forces acting. Larger force minus smaller force, and the direction will be the same as the direction of the larger force. So the object will move here towards the direction of the larger force, which is towards right. This was our case 3 of the discussion. So you have to understand this to apply it in different situations and understand the examples in a better way. Moving ahead, we are quite frequently talking about larger force and smaller force. So how do we decide which one is larger and which one is smaller? How is the strength of the force measured? So we can measure it by the magnitude and direction. Magnitude is the numerical unit of the force, and the direction, whether right or left, up or down, the forces applied. So this is how you compare the two forces. So let's just consider one statement here. Force can only change the speed of the object. Just think about this statement. Do you think whether it's true or false? Yes, it's false. Force can not only change the speed of the object but can also change the direction. So this statement, force can only, we have to focus on this area, that the statement says only. So that becomes a problem over here. Only is not the correct statement. So we'll end our discussion here for now in this part 3 of the video. If you want to watch the other videos, follow the link in the description box below for part 4 of this series. And if you feel the discussion was helpful, this video was helpful, please like, share, subscribe and comment. Thank you for watching.